Hey, it's Suze, and welcome to tonight's episode of Keep the Bad Guys Away. Hey, nice to see ya. It's another day in organized crime here in the United States. Tonight I am sporting my, let's see, this is my third iPod shuffle that I've had in the last 3 years. I've lost a red one, I've lost a pink one, but Apple was so kind to deliver this to my door today when I was at work. So I'm sporting it tonight. I got the aqua colors and the aqua mood. So thank you, Apple, for helping out a crime victim. And you are listening to They Don't Care About Us, the High Voltage remix, right off the iTunes store. Isn't this really cool? Oh, rock! But anyway, on a more serious note, let me tell you what happened today. I mean, boy, you know what? They are just so flippin' unreal, dude. I mean, okay, first of all, let me just tell you. Okay, I know the Marshals. I know the Marshals, like, all throughout the United States. Okay, just because I'm not in their program, see, like, they would look at that and go, holy crap, dude. I remember when I was left Las Vegas, back in the end of summer 2010, and I took this letter to the federal building there in Phoenix, Arizona, and I went up to, the nice deputy that was guarding the federal building, and I'm like showing this to him, and I'm telling you, man, he turned white as a ghost. I thought he was going to pass out there. He was like, whoa, go to the main office. I mean, so, I'm just telling you, I know the Marshals. I know the Marshals in a lot of different states. I got a lot of ICE agents. There's a lot of other law enforcement that knows this, so I just can't figure out. It's like, dude, okay, you know what? Quit being so damn corrupt, I mean, I don't know if it's just because I'm in a new location. Well, I mean, the reason why I'm in a new location is because this is what the FBI keeps trying to do. They keep trying to push me into different districts that don't already know my case. So, at least from a local law enforcement standpoint, they don't know the case. So that does make them, a little bit easier to be manipulated by the bad guys. Bad guys would be the FBI and then this little damn task force out of Nevada, and then, of course, anybody that works in their conspiracy. But anyway, I think they've caught on here, dude. They've caught on, but now they don't know what to do with it. But there's still something not right. Something isn't all right. Let me tell you what happened today at the hospital. Okay, so I had two relatively easy patients for ICU. I mean, I've worked in very, very high acuity ICUs where, like, people are really, like, sick as shit, and there's, like, drips all over the place, a crash, and they're coding, all kinds of lines coming out anywhere. But anyway, I got two relatively easy patients. So, we get 3 breaks a day. We get a morning break, we get a lunch break, and we get an afternoon break. So I mean, my patients were fine. I don't leave the floor if my patients are, like, going to keel over and die, right there. So, I mean, I just don't do that, So, but anyway, anytime I left the floor today to go on a break, telling my chargers I'm going on a break, every time I left the floor, something happened. There was like something wrong with my patient. Came back, there was like something wrong, dude. And I'm like, oh my God, here they go again. Hacking the nurses, hacking the doctors, I mean, it's unreal. I don't know who's doing it. It's just like when I was up in Bethel, Alaska, I had the same problem. I had to get the police involved, and I mean, it was so crazy. Not only was I had the police involved, and then I had a little boyfriend that was, a cop with the Bethel PD, if you want to call it a boyfriend. But anyway, so I had a friend there in Bethel PD, and so I mean, and I'm still calling the ICE tip line when I'm up in Bethel, Alaska, because there was so much corruption with all the nurses. I mean, I called that 1-866-DHS2 ICE so many times up in Bethel, Alaska. I mean, it was like, oh my God. And I remember one time when I called that number, I told the guy that answered the phone, one of the agents, I was like, dude, I just don't even know where this is coming from. The crime that was happening, like, right at that second. I'm like, whoa, man. I mean, so, I never know who's behind the scams. But I can tell you what was, I can tell you what was suspicious today. We remember I talked to that nurse. She's got a boyfriend there in the sheriff's office. And then, like, her dad is also a bigwig in the sheriff's office in the next county down the road over. I mean, I don't know if it has something to do with that. I don't know. Like I said, she was pretty shocked to find out that I had ICE agents. So I don't want to wrongly accuse anybody. I mean, she was there today. She doesn't seem to want to talk to me, if she doesn't have to. She pretty much, you know, brushes me off, and I think it's, I don't know if she's scared. I don't know if I've scared somebody. Okay, but anyway. But so anytime I left the floor today, something happened with my patient that was, seemed to be seamlessly ridiculous, you know, but it was like they were making like some kind of big to-do out of some kind of like bullshit that they pretty much made up. I was telling one of the night shift nurses that was back tonight, he had one of my patients last night, then I took over for him during the day, and then I'm telling him what happened today, and he was like, what the fuck? I mean, I'm like, dude, I know, I'm telling you, there was just something not right. Every time I left the floor, they were coming up with bullshit. I mean, I don't know if they're like trying to get me out of a job. I don't know if they're scared of my agents, you know. I mean, I don't know what the damn hell. I mean, I just think that they're totally off the hook. But, you know, so I'm telling you, bad law enforcement, very dangerous. It's like all retaliation because I'm trying to work on this kids project. And like I said, the suspicion is that they've traded the kids. Okay, so not just trading the kids, trading my son. Remember, I only have kind of authority over one child, Adrian. But we're also talking about Adrian's half-sister, Brooke, and, you know, possibly TJ and some other kids. But so the kids, I'm like representing all the kids. You know, it's, you know, going after the kids, you know, in a couple different ways, physically going after the kids. And then also, you know, it's like in my son's case, I'm going to get this damn child support, you know, issue resolved. I mean, I'm telling you, they swipe the kids and they swipe the money. Like, take away the kids and take away the money. Take away the money that the kids deserved by scamming the whole damn child support case, county after county after county after county, and then, like, you know, all this BS on where the heck the kids is and why anybody can't get them because of U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder. So, but that's why I said the only thing that they have to come after me is that they come after me at work. You know, because, you know, other than going to work, I mean, I stay home. I don't associate with anybody. I don't make any friends. I can't. I got organized crime to deal with. I can't make friends and go out to restaurants, go out to parties and do that kind of stuff because of the organized crime factor. And so, but then in doing so, that also cuts down on any further crime. Do you see? See, if I just don't have any connections, you know, then I don't have to worry about somebody hacking something, you know. I mean, but they do still hit me in cyber crimes. They hit me in computer crimes, you know, and that kind of thing. But where they really hit me is at work. Now one guy that I know, his name is Brad Barker. He's the president and CEO of the Halo Corporation. His company has retired government operatives, so they all work for the government in some kind of, like, you know, agent operative badass capacity and all that. So he runs the Halo Corporation down there in San Diego. I mean, he looked at this whole case. I remember he called me when I was back in McAllen, and he was like, Susan, I'm sure you're working out of your home office. You're working out of your home office. Home office? Right, home office, because of the organized crime factor. That's why I said, it's like they're doing it at the hospital, just coming up with all kinds of damn crap, dude. I mean, you know, it's, and the nurses, you know, they're so damn stupid, okay? But the trouble is, I shouldn't say stupid. It's probably more correct, the nurses and doctors, more correct that they would be easily manipulated because generally speaking, you know, we're not criminals. You know, the healthcare profession is not criminals, and we are the most regulated agency. We all have to pass a zillion background checks, including FBI background checks. So, so it would be really, really easy for, like, the FBI to be manipulating these healthcare providers. And then, you know, on top of that, this Mark Moore guy, this ultra dangerous federal government employee, this CIA guy, whatever, you know, his brother, half-brother, twin brother, fraternal twin brother, whatever, is suspected to be a guy named Chris Fisher, who is a medical doctor. Chris Fisher, MD, who is a trauma surgeon at Sunrise Hospital and Medical Center in Las Vegas. Boy, dude, and let me tell you, that was a kind of a crazy situation. Like many, many years ago when Mark Moore presented himself to be like a normal person, somebody that wanted to help me and my son, because, you know, I've learned this is how these guys work. Remember, they got to, like, get in, be friends with you and all that, and then they, like, fuck you over later. Okay, so, but then, like, I remember I was telling Mark Moore, we had this big fight, you know, in my living room, and, you know, I'm telling him I got this contract at Sunrise Hospital in the trauma ICU, and he was pissed, you know, and then he said something about getting his brother involved, and I was like, oh, brother. I'm like, you got a brother, older, younger, whatever? And then somehow it was like, I don't know, somehow it came to be the same age, and I'm like, I'm like, same. I'm like, what, you got a twin? I mean, you know, I thought that was kind of crazy, you know, but I've got so many crazy things until I went to work at the trauma ICU at Sunrise. And then everybody's like, oh, look at this doctor, Chris Fisher. Wait for him to walk in the door. Wait for him to walk in the door. He's so gorgeous. He's so gorgeous. And Chris Fisher walks in the door of the unit, and I went, holy fuck, dude, that cannot be Mark Moore's brother. Oh my God, you got to be fucking kidding me. Mark Moore, who I had to sleep with because of my whole kids situation, that, you know, it's like, you know, he's telling me he's going to help me and my son and all this kind of stuff. I'm like his brother, and then I find out he's got a brother, a twin brother, and he looks a hell of a lot like Chris Fisher, MD. You know, I mean, it was just like, I mean, you know, we're just talking like totally crazy ass shit here, but this is the kind of stuff that has happened to me. So, I don't know. I still think that Mark Moore, oops, lost you there. I still think Mark Moore is pulling tricks. Remember, he is a scumbag. He is a very, very dangerous scumbag who is not in prison. He is not a good guy. He is a very, very bad guy. But he is a ultra smooth criminal that could fool anybody. So is it possible that Mark Moore is like using his connections with, like, you know, his Chris Fisher, his brother or alleged brother? I mean, even attorney Randy Roski thought that Chris Fisher was his brother, half fraternal twin brother, whatever. But, you know, if you want to know what Mark Moore looks like, go look at Chris Fisher, MD, trauma surgeon, Sunrise Hospital and Medical Center in Las Vegas. And they look almost exactly alike. So, but even Randy Roski thought that that's who Mark Moore's brother was. But I'm telling you, I think that that's the only funnel that I could think that they would use, is using that connection to hack the doctors, hack the nurses at work. You know, I mean, you know, they see, and somebody like Mark Moore, he's got to do is, like, you know, flash his credentials as being, you know, working for the government. Anybody would believe him, but they don't. Well, what they don't understand is that Eric Holder was supposed to be corralling his damn jackass, and he should have been in prison 4 years ago. Him and his little FBI friends. So anyway, very, very dangerous, but boy, it was so hella obvious today that they were purposely trying to come up with some kind of bullshit. I leave the floor to go on my scheduled breaks, and all of a sudden something happens with my patients. I'm like, dude, you know what, get over it. I mean, you know, it's like, if you guys have to sit there and pull that kind of crap, some kind of like timing crap, you know, I mean, you guys are fucking goddamn pathetic. Let me tell you, you know, Officer Andy Reid up there in Bethel PD already told me an FBI agent's going to be going to prison. I'm like, you know, that's why I said, I mean, I'm thinking to myself, how many? There's so many, but at least one. So, you know, if you want to work in the conspiracy, work in the conspiracy. If you want to be on the A team, stick on the A team. Stick on this A team. So if I tell you who my people are, go with my people. Don't go with these other assholes, or you might go all down with them. I mean, that's why I said it's just unreal. Bad law enforcement, bad task force, bad operatives, bad government in general. Very dangerous to other people, very dangerous to the community. That's why they need to go to prison. But you know what? I keep thinking, God, is that going to happen in the United States, or is it going to be the people I know up there in The Hague or in one of these other countries? I mean, I know I've seen the MPs in Jamaica. Who knows? Maybe the MPs in Jamaica like to take them out. The MPs in Mexico, the MPs in any other country, the MPs in the Netherlands, any MPs at all. But you know, it's I still to this day cannot figure out why they can't stop it. And the only thing that I can think of is that ICE cannot get jurisdiction. The Marshals cannot get jurisdiction. I don't know what it would take to actually pull federal jurisdiction away from the FBI into, say, even the Marshals or into somebody like ICE. You know, I wouldn't know how that would be done. It sounds like it would be very difficult. It sounds like it would be hard, but it would just seem like you would need a judge's order. But then, of course, you need the U.S. attorney and so forth. So that's why I said, and the organized crime continues on the bullshit. But anyway, so hacking at work, that was today. But I made it through, and I'm going to spend the rest of the evening enjoying my iTunes on my new iPod Shuffle. Like I said, this is number 3 that I've had. I also had an iPod Touch. That was stolen in Phoenix, Arizona. The last iPod Shuffle that I had, that was taken in, let me see, Harlingen most recently, the pink one that I had. And then let me see, where happened to my red one? My red one either got swiped in crime, Was that down in Texas or down in Los Angeles? It could have been down in Los Angeles. But anyway, this is the third one of these I have had. I also had an iPod Touch. So, I mean, there's over the top. And you're not taking my new iPod Touch. You take my damn iPod Touch, I'm going to fucking damn getting all these jolts. I'm so had it with your damn crap. I'm not a fucking goddamn terrorist, man. I mean, can you interpret fraud? I am not a fucking terrorist. You cannot come in and just be swiping my property, using your damn little friends to swipe my property, coming up with some kind of damn scam, you know, so I lose my property, which is basically something that you, like, you know, created or whatever. And you know, it's not like any of my property that these guys have swiped is like sitting in a warehouse with a big label on it that says evidence. I mean, they all take my shit and they either use it themselves or they like throw it out or they give it to their girlfriends or mothers or what. I mean, you know, whatever, sell it on eBay, you know, I mean, that's just what the hell they're doing. Everything illegal. So be part of the solution, don't be part of the problem. So anyway, that's tonight's episode of Keep the Bad Guys Away. I'll see you next time.